Last summer I took a trip to Italy with 3 of my closest friends. And like most guys that travel together, you got aspirations of meeting some beautiful foreign girl that hasn't been corrupted by Western degeneracy and speaks a bit of broken English. And then you'll go and fall in love with her and make some memories and realize this is a momentary fantasy and eventually forget when the trip is over, leaving you wondering and having deep introspective thoughts as to whether it's better to forget or to remember. No, just me? Ironically enough, I did fall in love with the moment, just not in the way I originally thought or intended. The most memorable part of the trip, by far, was in Lake Como, a lake in northern Italy surrounded by beautiful mountains, Swiss Alps, resort towns, and villas nearby. It was like this secluded paradise within Italy, a place that was known as a popular getaway or retreat spot for Roman aristocrats, and served as a place of inspiration for writers, artists, poets, and philosophers. Leonardo da Vinci himself painted there, Verdi composed music, Bellini worked on his opera, and after being there myself, I can kind of understand why. Now, I'm no musician, legendary artist, or philosopher myself, but ironically enough, it's the exact same reason why I'm making a video about this place myself. There's a certain air of serene bliss that puts your mind at ease and immerses you in the present here. It was like this beautiful, serene, majestic, secluded paradise, and it's not something that can really be put into words, you just gotta be there to understand. This was probably one of, if not the most beautiful place that I've been. Very few times have I felt more at peace than I was here. Just walking around the town of Bellagio that warm summer night, or sailing around Lake Como with my friends during sunset with my tinted glasses on. So much so that one of my goals is to go back there either by myself or with a girl, rent a small boat and just let the boat ride across the lake during the sunset as I lay off to the side with a speaker playing Take You There by Sean Kingston as loud as possible. The very next morning, we woke up early to go mountain biking and explore the surrounding towns of Lake Como. The town of Bellagio is pretty quiet in the mornings given that everyone parties the entire night around town. I remember how clear the sky was, how peaceful it was, the birds chirping, and as we sat down at a nearby spot to grab breakfast, I saw a waiter across the dock setting up tables with the most monotonous, worn-out expression drawn over his face. The exact same expression you see when people clock into their office jobs, filing papers and making spreadsheets all day. It was clear that he just got his day started and was ready for his day to be over. It was such a stark contrast from what I was feeling and experiencing in that moment. Because here I was taking in the scenery of the blue skies, the Swiss Alps, the mountains, the sun reflecting over the water of the lake, with my ham and cheese sandwich and coffee at hand, and there he was looking like he was ready to end it all. And I thought to myself, I mean sure, not many people enjoy clocking into work in the mornings, but how could waking up to this view, this atmosphere, this paradise-like setting not at least get you to smile even just a bit? It's not the worst setting to clock into work to, to say the least. But unlike me, he was uninterested in the view, he was just getting his day started. Just serving annoying tourists taking the exact same orders every single day. And that's when it dawned on me. My love of the moment was more so because the situation itself was completely foreign to me. But for him, it was just another Wednesday on a touristy island trying to make it through the week. He was probably sick of the view, to be honest. He probably felt trapped on that island. The city life with cloudy weather that I'm used to, that I was getting away from, he probably fantasizes about. As he's serving coffee, waiting tables on that resort island just in the sun, staring at the lake and mountains all day, with annoying, overexcited, obnoxious tourists. It's about the moment, and that's why people are dying to go on vacations all the time. 9-to-5 routines, clocking in and out of work, getting the oil checked, pumping gas, going to the exact same grocery stores every single Wednesday, getting drunk on the weekend, watching sports and entertainment to cope through life. It's why people live for the weekends. It's a chance at a different experience that breaks the routine of their 9-to-5 weekdays. It all becomes normalized, it all becomes routine, and we all get caught in this trap all the time and start having existential midlife crises, becoming depressed. When you're on vacation, when you travel, it gives us a glimpse of how we're supposed to live life. Now hold on, before you raise that eyebrow, I'm not talking about in the sense where you don't have to work and have no responsibilities. You see, when you're in a completely foreign place, when you're not at that 9-to-5 you've been working for years or the same city you've been stuck in, it's like a cheat code. It allows you to completely immerse yourself in the present. That is the key to new experiences that no one ever really talks about. You're not thinking about work, you're not thinking about the future or the past. The future is where anxiety comes from, and the past is where depression is fostered. You couldn't care less about your ex or that annoying coworker or meeting a certain deadline so your boss doesn't get on your ass. None of that exists when you're in a completely new place with new experiences and new people. When you're in the present, in that moment, which is why you're so happy, which is why I was so happy. Because it was a completely foreign experience, and it became that much easier to immerse myself in the present because of that. I was staring at the mountains, the sky, the water, the nature, the people, the atmosphere, even the birds. I don't care about birds in the city. But when I was in Lake Como, I swear I heard every single chirp from every single bird. For that waiter, one expression over his face taught me this entire perspective. This beautiful setting, this paradise, the lake, the mountains, the sunset over the water, for him, this was his normal, and we were experiencing it from two different perspectives. Even a place as beautiful as Lake Como, it wasn't enough. You get used to it. Eventually, everything becomes normalized. No matter what you're chasing, no matter the car you want to drive, the house you want to live in, everything becomes normalized. The key is to constantly grow and to constantly evolve, to always have new experiences and better yourself. And this applies no matter where you are in life. Believing in the myth of a singular point where you'll reach something like happiness will inevitably lead you to crash and burn. And after that realization, I enjoyed every single moment. I immersed myself in the present. We went to Milan, Venice, Florence, and Rome. And as much as it sounded like the perfect trip to Italy with the boys, it wasn't. Two of my homies got in arguments in every single city, while my other friend and I just recorded and laughed.
Yo, all you expect me to do is bullshit, that's why.
I got hoodwinked into booking this hotel in Florence, and we ended up staying in some ran-down attic. And my friends were looking at me like they were ready to jump me as soon as we walked in. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even a real hotel. I got scammed out at $300. We ended up leaving the next morning and ended up booking some one-bedroom Airbnb. And I remember it was so humid in there, probably like 80 degrees, no AC, one bed, a bunch of mosquitoes. The shower didn't even have a door, so the whole bathroom was flooded. And we were opening the refrigerator, taking turns standing in front of it. And it wasn't even cold, it was like lukewarm. While in Rome, we all agreed to take a day to ourselves to go off on our own. It's just something about riding a Lime scooter around the city of Rome by myself really made me appreciate the present in a different way. I don't think a 24-hour has gone by faster for me, almost doing nothing. And as the trip was winding down to the last 2 days, we didn't really do much other than try to talk to girls. My friends were getting kinda sad that the trip was coming to an end, but I didn't really feel that. I didn't have that end of the vacation depression. And as we were sitting on the steps overlooking the plaza near the center of Rome at 1 AM, we were talking about having to go back home, and the only thing I was thinking about was what's the next experience. Because to me it wasn't really about Italy itself. I mean sure, having a beautiful place like Lake Como makes it really easy to focus yourself in the present. And I'm definitely gonna go back there either by myself or with a girl. So if you're out there, hit me up. But from then on, I tried to focus on always having new experiences. I was able to free myself from being overly stressed about the future or hyperfixated on the mistakes of the past that made me depressed. I fell in love with the moment, as cheesy or cliche as that might sound.